Greetings, welcome. Thank you for stopping by. Thank you for stopping by. Bear with me. I'm just giving folks some time here. Oh, wait, I should have changed the title. My bad. I totally forgot to change the title again. My bad. I'm sorry, but I'm out and about, and that's why I forgot to change the title. So I'm sorry about that. It's something totally different. It's actually the flip side of the reading we did earlier this morning today. Okay, but anyway, thank you for stopping by here on TikTok Live. If you're logging in on TikTok Live, which is Thursday, June the 30th, 2022. Otherwise, just welcome. Thank you. If you are a high vibe, love, and lighter, okay, welcome. Thank you for joining. Now, like I said, I apologize because I forgot to change the title. But the reading earlier was about should I ghost them, okay? And as we saw through the reading, if any of you were there, it said, well, yeah, essentially, okay? It was some toxic. It was time to, cut things off extremely. Some people were concerned about that, but it was all fuckery. It was all manipulation. It was all, in some cases, spell work. But now we're doing the flip, okay? Last night I did a reading, I think it was last night, where it was talking about life is meant to be lived, okay? But what's imperative to being able to do that is learning how to invest properly, learning how to invest in what is actually providing you uh, wish fulfillment. And, if it's not providing you with fulfillment, it's time to assess it and move on. Now, so what I want to invite you all to just meditate on or think about, when you can, what would it be like? See, we're going to flip the script. What would it be like for you, okay, to actually have wish fulfillment in your life or in, co-creating and manifesting things that you want, not attaching it to a particular person. See, we give away our power every time we do that, you guys. Okay? Please understand. Every time that we attach it to, it has to be exactly this, exactly that, or a literal, we kind of limit ourselves and we disempower ourselves. Essentially, it is an energy and a frequency that we're looking to experience. And we are equating it to something in the 3D. But if you can co-create and manifest the experience, the frequency, right? Because at the end of the day, isn't that what it's about? We attach it to an individual because we feel like that is the end all be all to an experience we want to have, or a job, or a this, or a that. But nothing is more further from the truth than that. What would it be like starting to put energy, thoughts, focus, effort into that would be? Isn't that a lovely day? Isn't that a lovely way of living rather than investing so much energy, so much time and effort into, first and foremost, being disgruntled about what isn't, or trying to make what isn't be? The lesson is learning how to evaluate these things, and it takes us time because we're programmed, we're on autopilot, we get stuck. The human mind, the human brain gets conditioned, unfortunately, brainwashed and conditioned in the negative sense. Okay, so ask yourself, when you feel relaxed, I invite you to do this when you are relaxed, not when you're stressing, not when you have pressure and a lot on your plate, and when you are in a state of relaxation, when you have unplugged, unwind, You're not worrying about paying the bills. You're not worrying about running errands. You're not worrying about this and that and this and that. When you have moments to just relax, be in the now, okay? Relax, being in the now. In that state of being, then ask yourself, what would it be like? What does a happy relationship look like to me? What does a fulfilling career, a fulfilling job look like to me? What would that feel like? What would it look like? Something that is true with fulfillment, not something that is this addictive but yet toxic, roller coaster ride of highs and lows, which is conditioning you to think that that's normal. It's called brainwashing, okay? It's conditioning us to think that, oh, this is normal to go through catastrophe every 3 weeks. And then the honeymoon phase, and then catastrophe, and the honeymoon phase, catastrophe, the honeymoon phase, catastrophe. That's actually brainwashing, and is detrimental to the mental and emotional health. Okay? So asking the questions, what would it be like to have a balance? Nothing is, you know, perfect per se, but I can tell you that everything don't have to be toxic either. What would it be like to have a wish fulfilling life? Friendships that are healthy and balanced and reciprocal. Lovers, okay? Business, partnerships. Like, just when you're relaxed, not when you're stressed, not when you're flipping the hell out, or, when you have a moment that you're in a relaxed state. That's the time right there to start taking the mind there. What would that be like for you? We spend a lot of time on the other stuff, don't we? It's the habit, human mind. A lot of time on what we don't like. A lot of time on what we want to change and what we're trying to bend and break and make. And it's like, well, a lot of things is really about acceptance and about release and about knowing that we can co-create an experience. It doesn't have to be. Because let me tell you something. Ask yourself this question. How many times have you went into something and you sure as shit thought it was going to be, you know what I'm saying, the job of all jobs, and you got over there and you hate the shit? You see what I'm saying here? Because we're really looking for an experience, but we attach it to, we go, oh, it looks like this, it sounds like that, and this, and so, and we assume and we equate and we think it's going to provide the experience. But more often than not, that's not always the case. We wanted it to be that, right? We hoped. But instead of the obsession that we often get in, that fixation, it's like, man, how about acceptance, allowance? The releasing allows us to receive. But the programming often in that fear energy has us in this mindset of, I'm not going to release until I receive. But it's backwards. We block our movement because it's all frequency. The universe is like, you keep saying this, but I also see you gripping for dear life onto this. You keep saying with your mouth, but in your frequency, in your energy, in your thoughts, in your decisions, in your behavior, in your conduct, in your actions, and what you are daily participating in, you're saying the opposite. You're sending the opposite frequency, which gives a feel of stagnation, which is why we then step into becoming very frustrated. Because we're sending a confusing signal, if you will. I want this, I don't want this, I want this, I don't want this. In the mouth, saying this, but choices, decisions, actions says differently. The acceptance. The allowance and the release is what sets the stage for the receiving of what you want to experience and what you want to co-create. Spending time when we are in a relaxed state on, instead of the fuckery I've been conditioned in my whole life, what would it be like to be able to be myself? I've been fake my whole life. What would it be like to be able to just be me and actually co-create fulfilling experiences, having not needing to betray myself here? And I'm not talking about the mask that we all wear to a degree, the costumes we wear to function in different roles, but I'm talking about when it comes to the soul's authenticity, shape-shifting. What would it be like to be able to be me and actually still get bliss and happiness, and I ain't got to sell my soul for it, bitch? You know what I'm saying? It's like, shoot, I ain't got to lie, kill, steal, and destroy, bitch. I can. What would it be like? And then just play, and then watch what happens. Watch where, just see what comes naturally, not because you're trying to make it, but just start to see what images come to you naturally as you're in this relaxed state, or what thoughts come to you when you're in this relaxed state, or who comes to mind, because often, it'll be flashes of things that comes to you when you set this intention and get in a state of being to allow this to come to you. Yes, there are people we have to ghost. The ghosting often seems and feels hard, man. But usually that's because there's an addiction attached to that. There's this cycle, there's this codependency. It has nothing to do with it must be right for you if it's hard to let go. Not necessarily. I know of many drug addicts that, hell, it's hard for them to let it go just because they're addicted. But it ain't necessarily saying it's good for them. That's the way it is in anything in life, though. We start to equate that it's a challenge to let go of something and someone as a signal that it means that we are not to let it go, but that's not always the case. It's fear. Okay? At the bottom line of it all is fear. Even those that practice like the weirdo shit, at the end of the day, at the bottom line of why they do that, it's still fear. I promise you it's fear. Because only people that are ruled by a fear energy feel compelled to have to do that kind of shit to begin with. I promise you that. Fear of not having enough, fear of being left out, fear of abandonment, fear of rejection, fear of this. It's fear. Fear of the unknown, fear of, all these fear. It's all fear. Again, the programming that most of us come in here with and the traumas that most of us have accumulated says, I will release when I receive. But this is why a lot of us stay stuck in disgruntled places in life, disgruntled jobs, disgruntled in home, disgruntled connections, because we're waiting for this magical day that never comes. And when it comes to matters of the heart and relationships, let me tell you, anybody that has managed to learn their self-worth and value and can read energy, they're not going to invest in someone that is trying to use them as an escape plan, or someone that's trying to use that as a crutch to get over another. They'll smell it, they'll feel it, and go, no. People need to make choices and changes because they want to, not because they got a backup plan, because they want to make the change. They have determined that come hell or high water, do or die, no matter what happens next, I'm done. Not contingent upon if I manage to get this. No, I'm done, bitch. Done, bitch. People who know their worth and value, they can smell it. They're not going to be the backup plan. They're not going to help somebody secure. They're like, no, you got to go heal like everybody else. You got to go on a journey to figure out who the fuck you are like everybody else. You got to go get your shit together like everybody else. The decisions we make needs to be ours, because when we equate it or put it onto something else, then it's a potential for resentment. Because if it don't go down exactly the way we anticipated, now it's like, oh, because of you. Well, see, you didn't make the decision for the right reasons to begin with. If you're done with something, you're done. And it ain't going to have nothing to do with if it works with so-and-so, if you get this over here and that over there. You're just done. And I could tell you guys this from experience in different areas of my life. Once I got to these places of I was done, it didn't matter to me. It didn't matter what was next. It didn't matter. I didn't care. I didn't care. Because done is done. I knew that by getting certain, it left me room and space to co-create something else in my life. So when I was done, it was like, okay, the unknown factor, what if I made a mistake? Well, chances are I didn't. We usually pondered some shit well over expiration date. And the mind, the lower mind and the ego, and in some cases, like I said, spell work, when we're dealing with, sophisticated manipulators, keeps us in that energy of second guessing. What if it's a mistake? And what if it's not? You see the perspective here? What if it's a mistake? What if it's not? Because apparently there's a reason you wants to escape, bitch. Apparently there's a reason. It's a reason. There's a reason here. Because when we're all together satisfied with a choice that we've made or something that we're in, we're not there. We want to take ownership of our lives, you guys. That's the most empowering thing I can ever share, man. We want to start thinking for ourselves and making choices for ourselves and empowering ourselves and taking full responsibility and not contingent upon actions of others. This is when we're constantly giving away our power. People can dangle you and puppeteer you like a little rag doll. Oh, servant boy. Oh, servant girl. When we do that, give yourself enough love and compassion and space when you're in a decent energy, free of fuckery, free of people, and you'll get down all up in your peripherals and shit, motherfucker. When you can get yourself... This is why y'all always hear me make these jokes, but I be meaning it. Sometimes we have to separate to get our head on straight. This is why people be panting and clawing at us. It's because they want to keep influence. They want to keep in our ear. They want to keep, because they be knowing the more you pull away, the more likely you're going to see some shit straight. The more you pull away, the more you may get your head on straight. And this is why people, okay, next thing you know, oh, they dying, bitch. Well, I'm not the coroner, motherfucker. Let people handle. My family was good for this shit, man. They'll call all over the damn Americas and shit. Motherfuckers didn't even talk to, bitch. These motherfuckers don't even deal with me and my boy. But I tell you, in order to try to get up in my energy, now they call in the DeLones. The DeLones have zero interest in my boy. Never have. You see. But I tell you, when they can't have control over you no more, then it's calling over the Americas. Oh, they're sick, they're dying, bitch. Something wrong, bitch. No, it ain't. Same as they old ass still here, bitch. Still here, wrecking havoc in motherfuckers' lives. Oh, they just want to get somebody's energy because they can't control old Bloomy Bloom. See, sometimes we have to be willing to go there. Because when people had you, when they had your attention, when they had you, how was it? Obviously not fulfilling. So what would it be like to be free of that kind of stuff, but to actually have? Because you can create it, you guys, I promise. This is not just talk and fluff. You can create this. What would it be like? But I can promise you this. It's going to be very challenging to manifest what you want when you're holding on to what you don't. The root core issue is deal with why you feel like you have to hold on. And until any of us could get past that, life is going to be on the circular wheel of Groundhog's Day, fuckery, highs and lows. Right? All right, guys. Talk to y'all later.